All right, now we're going to talk about Unit 12, Chapter 12, which is Management Support Systems. And there will be a demo recorded later for this using Tableau. So we use management support systems to do decision making. We can have different categories of decisions that we have to make. So we can have structured decisions, we can have semi-structured decisions, we can have unstructured decisions, and then we can have different phases: intelligence, design, choice, and implementation. So structured decisions are things that we do with pretty frequent processes. So things like running payroll is a structured decision-making process. Okay? We probably follow some sort of procedure. We have a decision tree that we have to make, that we have to use in order to make decisions. That's something that's easily turned into automated decision-making using management support system. Semi-structured, okay? There might be operational decisions we have to make that are semi-structured. Okay? That lends itself well to certain types of management support systems. Unstructured decisions are where we can't really anticipate, so like a merger, okay? But we can use management support systems to help us make those decisions. So we use decision support systems for semi-structured and unstructured tasks. So we have different components. We have a database, we have a model base, a user interface, and a DSS engine. Okay. We can use executive information systems for executives to provide interactiveness, dashboards, and allow them to drill down into the data. Because I'm sure many of you know this, but maybe not everybody. So I'll tell you this. Executives are paid very well, okay? Which means their time is extremely valuable to the organization. If they're in idle chit chat with you about something, going into the weeds, that's time they're not spending on more valuable decisions they could be making. Okay, so it's not to be rude to you, it's not to hurt your feelings, make you feel like you're less of a person. It's just that they're a very expensive resource for the organization, and so their time needs to be managed accordingly. So we don't want to overwhelm them with data that they have to pick through. We want someone who is paid less to be able to pick through that data, pull out the important points, and funnel that up to them. Now, that being said, some executives look at the high-level data we provide and they want to drill deeper. So we have to be able to provide a drill down if they want additional details. So they don't have to come back to us for it. Okay? So that's what an executive information system does. We can have group support systems, also known as groupware, is one type, which can do communication, collaboration, and coordinate activities across the group or team. Then we can have electronic meeting systems, which allow us to make group decision-making wherever we're at. So it doesn't matter if we're in the same physical location or not. Okay, so we can use Zoom and then other tools that plug into Zoom to do electronic meetings. I mentioned GIS in the form of geographic information systems as well. Okay, so you mentioned that yesterday when I was talking about global information systems. This is the only time you'll ever see this in this class. Okay, and so geographic information systems use spatial and non-spatial data to store and display geographic object coordinates. So some examples of where this might be used: airspace restrictions if we're a pilot or an airline, locations of all company facilities on a map, that sort of thing. Okay? We also use these to store our locations of our stores. If we're consumer facing, we have it in our application. So we use a GIS system for that. Okay. If you want to see some examples other than just the apps that you use, like the Target app or wherever where you see the store locations, you can look at the Federal Aviation Administration's temporary flight restriction system, and that will depict airspace restrictions for you of where you're not allowed to fly. That's a GIS system, and it's using GIS software from a company up in Redlands called ESRI. How do I know that? That system is my baby from early in my career, and it's still out there because the government doesn't throw things away ever. So that's still my baby from when I was fresh out of college. Designing a management support system, you can define objectives and follow standard development methods, just like you would any other system that you're developing, okay? And that's pretty much the synopsis of this particular unit. You'll still want to read the chapter for the exam, okay? But this should be a kind of a good high-level treatment for you.